Hello and welcome to Unikronn Gaming. Today I'm going to be taking a look at this Mantis Wireless gamepad. This is for the PlayStation, obviously PlayStation 4, and oddly enough PC. I won't be testing it on PC. This is strictly for me using it on certain PS4 games on my PS5. So it's a small controller. It's got Hall effect sticks. Well, actually, we'll get to that. There you go, it's from Retrofighters. There we go. Just a barcode there. Same as the front. It's on the back where we get most of the information. Right, let's have a look-see. It's going to read off this blurb here. It says, introducing the PlayStation 4 Mantis Bluetooth wireless controller by Retrofighters. This controller is, oh my God, I can't even see with my hands out here. This controller is small in size, but big in features. The Mantis Mini PlayStation 4 wireless controller pulls out all the stops with loads of features. You sound like British people. That sounds like a very British sentence. Loads of features. Yeah, definitely British. Everything from Hall effect sensors. Okay, so the analog sticks are Hall effects. Programmable back buttons. Nice. Variable trigger stops. I didn't know this had that. Touchpad with LED indicator bar. Built-in gyro and more. This I bought from Amazon. How much was it? I think it was £36. You can also get it in grey as well, but I prefer the see-through. Anyway, let's read down here, more of these features here. Right. Hall effect technology eliminates stick drift and improves precision. In fact, why don't I just put it there? Oh, there, yeah. Trigger stops, selects either long or short pulls, play your way. Programmable back buttons, ergonomic mini design with textured grips. This is a small controller. Precise D-pad and accurate touchpad with LED indicator bar. Vibration, feedback and motion sensors. X input and D input modes. I don't even know what that means, to be honest. Split shutter, push of a button. Wireless range is over 30 feet. And it's got a built-in speaker as well. Okay. That all sounds pretty cool. Now let's get to opening it. Right. We have plastic, well, a tab there and one there to cut. So let's get a knife. That ain't a knife, this is a knife. Crocodile Dundee style. Can I cut it? Come on, this isn't my normal knife. I couldn't find a normal one. Jesus Christ. I'm butchering this, ain't I? It's one side and two sides. There we go. So just the covering box as we've seen. Let's put that away. Just a white box inside. Let's see what we get in there. You've got the controller, a quick start instructions manual, how to pair, programmable buttons, inputs, gamepad reset, reconnect speaker on, LED indicator, wide mode, joystick collaboration. I will be using this probably wired. in my tests, not with this supplied USB-C to USB-A wire. That was too short. It's way too short. But because we're looking at what's inside the box, let's roughly look at how long this is. Right. I'm gonna say probably about half a meter long. That's all this is. This cable is about half a meter long. Okay, let's move the stuff out. Move the knife out of the way. Okay. So next, we're going to look at the controller. Anyway, right. Let's have a look at the controller. Front. A good look at the buttons there. Have a good look at those shoulder buttons and triggers. Let's have a good look at the D-pad. See the height of the D-pad, which is always important. The Hall effect sticks. The buttons themselves. The height of the buttons. Oh God, I didn't put my tablet on Do Not Disturb. Damn it. All right. What we're going to do now is go through the actual feel of the controller itself. My little Mantis. Okie dokie. Right, here we go. The home button. Oh, you can see the LED. Can you hear that? Okay. There are the sticks. Hopefully you can hear that on the mic. Let's look at the rotation. Click it in. Doesn't take much. It feels very nice, actually. The sticks. Oh. Let's got this one. The D-pad. Feels good as well. Right, let's see if I can get so you can see how deeply you need to push this in. It doesn't feel mushy, which is nice. The plastic for it feels pretty cool, actually. If you want to hear how much noise it makes, here's next to the mic. So not the quietest D-pad in the world. Okay, share button. And the options button. Pretty easy to use. Here's their sounds as well. It actually sounded a little bit different. Okay. The mouse or the touchpad, pretty small, which I like. Feels responsive. A little bit more travel than I'm used to, but still all right. That's the sound. And now, what do we need? Let's go to the front of it. L2, L1. Good thing is, even if you press here, the whole thing goes in. It's a really good button. So I'm assuming for fighting games, this should be pretty good. Even if you just touch the side, it still looks like it registers, which is nice. And the R1, see if that's the same. Yep. Wherever you touch it, it all depresses, which is cool. R2. Feels nice. Now these should be the triggers. The trigger stops. Yeah. So unlike the, say, the DualSense Edge, there's just one mode for this. As you can see now, I've moved it across compared to the right hand side. Now it's all the way down. So put it back. So you can see there, on my left hand side, it's all the way down. And on my right, it's half, trigger stop. So for me, for my old school games, this should hopefully act more like a button now, rather than a trigger, which is nice. So all the buttons feel good. Now let's go to the back. When the trigger stops, you won't be hitting them accidentally. You're gonna need some force for them, so that's cool. The paddle, well, they're not paddles, the trigger buttons. They feel nice and responsive. A little bit cramped because it's so small, so I don't think I will be using them. But anyway, let's have a look at it in my hand. It's, I mean, I don't know, I'm like 6'1" and my hand's huge. I don't know. I've had no complaints in the past. You know, let's just stick to the video. Speaker there. Oh, I forgot to do the buttons. The sacred symbols. They feel very responsive. I think they feel more responsive than the standard DualShock controller, to be honest. The back paddles, whatever you want to call them, there's not much there to press. I don't know if you'd press them accidentally. For me, like I said, it's a little bit, like when I'm holding it, it's a little bit too cramped for me. I like to hold it a bit higher, so I might miss it, if you see what I mean there. Whereas for me to get it, I have to scooch down a bit, which is not where I normally hold it, because obviously the handles are very small. Because it's almost like it's a microcontroller. As you can see, yeah, I'm all over it. But fighting games, I think this would be good. So, yeah, I want to test this with some games. But before I even do that, let's do a comparison, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to compare the Mantis to my DualShock 4. This is a custom DualShock 4 from Battle Beaver I've had for some time. So the D-pad has been modified, as you can see, the individual, but this is great for platform games and also stuff like Mortal Kombat. Move that out of the way. Stuff like Mortal Kombat. So there's analog sticks have been modified as well. I got them so that they had the stiffness or the resistance of a 360 controller analog stick. The buttons, I think they changed the membrane underneath, I believe, as well for me. I didn't bother to get anything underneath. Obviously, this is a sticker I put on there for my book adapter, so I know which pad connects to it. And my triggers are just normal. So apart from that, the only thing that's different here is the D-pad, the buttons, and the sticks. But as you can see when I'm holding it, the size difference in comparison to this small. But you know this is a small controller, so that's the whole point of it. But anyway, it's travel on a D-pad and a Battle Beaver Custom compared to here. Analog stick. Yeah, it's a bit grimy, but it's old and it gets used. The travel. Can I put the two up together? Will it actually make sense? They're the same. Well, no, this feels slightly different. But I will say, this feels a little bit looser, but this is not a standard DualShock. Plus, I've had it for years. So I think I got this 2017 when I got my PS4 Pro. So yeah. The most important thing, so the D-pad feels good. Really good. But also the buttons. Let's see if I can compare the two. Okay, I don't know if this will be a problem. Hopefully not, but it is more travel. The buttons stick up more, so you have to press. It just seems like it's further to go. Than with the DualShock. Shallower buttons. But yeah, that's basically the comparison. Here's the size difference. As you can see, there's still a bit more space there. Put them on top of each other. So yeah. So this is a 36 or anywhere between, I don't know, let's call it 35 and £40, depending if you get the see-through one or, I don't know, frosted plastic, or the grey, and where and how you get it. This is from Amazon UK. So now I'm going to test it out. Let's see what PlayStation 4 games I will test out. I want to be able to use the D-pad and the analog sticks. So I think I'll do probably maybe 1 or 2 fighting games. And do I have any 3D PS4 games that I play anymore? Probably not, because I'm all in PS5. I'll find some 2D PS4 games that you can use the analog stick with. And that's what I'll put them in the next part of the video. Yeah. And talk about how they felt. All right. See you in the next chapter. Oh, I don't know where this is going to go in the video, but what I forgot was the front here. You've got the, oops, in focus. Can we get you focus? Sorry. Power button. USB slot for charging. P, I'm assuming this is for pairing. Yeah, I forgot those. I don't know why, but I did. Actually, instead of me guessing, Let's have a look. 21 and 22. That's what those buttons. I'm assuming these buttons are 21 and 22 or 21 and 22, whichever way around they go. So let's move the controller out the way. Let's look for 21 and 22 here. Oh, yep. They're the small button, program, and reset. Okay, that's what they do. So it's good to read, folks. Yep. So on the left is small button reset. On the right hand side, small button program. Okay. So that's what those buttons do. These ones here. Once again, I won't be using them. The most I'll probably do is, will I play this? Yeah, probably have it wireless. I'll test out the wireless function on the PS5 and wired on the PS5. I won't be testing this with a PS4 because if it works on the PS5, we know it's going to work on the PS4. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Okay. Right. I'll show some game footage and then I'll come back and tell you about my overall thoughts. Okay, now to the conclusion of the video. This pad, I've played, how many games did I play with this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 games. So I played 5 games. So the first game I'm going to talk about would be Hyper Street Fighter 2 15th Anniversary Edition. Mainly to test out this D-pad to see how it goes with old school fighting games. So, fireball movements were fine. Charging movements were fine. I did have a problem getting at my dragon punches when I was on player 1 side. When I was on player 2 side, not so much. When I used these as buttons with the trigger stops, they were fine. I had no issues there. No issues at all. The buttons, remember what I said before about the extra travel? To be honest, that was cool. That was fine. No issues there. I didn't use the analog sticks to play Street Fighter 15th Anniversary because I've never done that. Obviously, it was quite cramped, a bit small for that game, I would say. Supers came out okay. I didn't miss any, but I had a lot of trouble, like I said, with dragon punches, unfortunately. I would say something that's most probably down to the older game of Street Fighter 2, like Super Turbo, because it's from that engine. It's been really, you have to be really precise with the inputs on that game, on that type of game. So there wasn't much leeway. So yeah, but overall, it wasn't bad. It wouldn't be my personal choice for that type of game. So yeah, anniversary was cool, but not really for me with this particular pad. So what's the game I played after that? Oh yeah, I played Street Fighter Alpha. I picked Ken, and odd enough, almost 180 experience. I didn't miss any moves. Dragon punches generally came out. I think I missed maybe a couple. But saying that though, a lot of times when it comes to controllers with D-pad, sometimes you have to work them in. They can be stiff and they might need a bit of working in. But this one generally seemed to be okay with Street Fighter Alpha. And I used, what version of Alpha was it? The one that's on the 30th Anniversary Collection, the PS4 game. So yeah, once again, the buttons and everything were fine. I didn't really have any inputs missed. Supers came out okay. Diagonal jumping backwards and forward. That was also, that was also good. So I didn't miss any of my jumps. Crouching and blocking was fine. Sometimes that's an issue with certain controllers. Hori controllers can be a bit awful with that, but crouch and blocking was fine. So yeah, let's have a look at my notes. What else did I say? Yeah, apart from the deep, or actually no. On one player side, the DP, the Dragon Punches could be a tiny bit tricky. So yeah, should I just put this down? I'm just weaving it all around. But yeah, so that was cool. What else did I play? I played Mark of the Ninja, another PS4 game, and that was mostly because I wanted to test out the analog stick and the shoulder buttons and the triggers. Once again, no issues with that whatsoever. That game played beautifully. The analog stick was very, very precise. I'm actually surprised because I've not used Hall effects, and I've heard that sometimes, I've read that sometimes they're not the most precise. But I don't know if that with all Hall effect sticks are made equally. That I don't know. But the ones on here were perfect. No issues whatsoever when I was playing Mark of the Ninja. Everything came out. Buttons were very responsive. It was actually quite comfortable to play. Yeah, so Mark of Ninja was great. Yeah, no issues there. What else was there with Mark of Ninja? Did I have can I think of anything else that was even a little neat? No. You know what? There just wasn't an issue with it at all. There just wasn't an issue. Even though it's small, I generally tend to find that I was hitting the R1 and R2 buttons perfectly fine. It wasn't an issue. The triggers were great as well. The sacred symbol buttons are extremely comfortable. Extremely comfortable. You never, even though it's a small pad, you never accidentally hit two at the same time. Yeah. So that was great with Mark of the Ninja. What's another game I played? Warrior Blade, and that is a brawler, an old school scrolling brawler. And again, that was just to test out the D-pad, dexterity, moving in and out of the screen. So up and down, and to run or to dash should be forward, depending on what side you're on. I want to see how responsive that was. Never missed an input with forward. So that was great. And once again, spamming attack and jump, very responsive. Very responsive. So that was cool. You could also use the analog stick. I didn't bother though, to be honest. When I was playing Warrior Blade, that was mainly to test out this wonderful D-pad here. So yeah, no issues there. And you know what? I have to say, even though this is a small controller, the D-pad size is really good. It's basically the size of a standard D-pad. So yeah, so there was no cramped issues or anything like that with the thumb. It was great. And that was Warrior Blade. That was cool. Actually, Warrior Blade is a pretty cool game. I might need to do a video on that. I don't think I'll be using this controller personally, but I'll speak about that afterwards. But yeah, Warrior Blade was very nice. Hey, look, I didn't notice that before. The D input and X input. Well, that's for when you're programming the little paddles. Okay, so that's Warrior Blade. What else? Let's look at my notes. I've spoken about Street Fighter Alpha, 15th anniversary, Mark of the Ninja, Warrior Blade. Oh, last one was Cuphead. And again, that was to test out the Hall effect analog stick. Once again, great. Very, very good for platforming games. Very responsive. You'd think there'd be a lot of dead zone in there, but no. The diagonals hit exceptionally well on there. These buttons are excellent as well. I changed this the R2 trigger for dash for that game, and it worked very well. Very well. Never missed a dash. Just jumping in dash. I didn't want, I think, what was dash initially? Was it circle? I didn't want to take my thumb off jump. I want to hold my thumb over jump, and I could press square to fire. And anytime I need to jump and dash, it's just easy. Yeah. But now that was nice. And this is analog stick, just like a Mark of the Ninja. No issues there for controlling whichever cup head that I was controlling. So yeah, overall, I would say this is an excellent controller if you want a second controller for your PlayStation 4 games. For me, I won't be using this much, but it wasn't really for me. I bought this for my daughter because she uses the PS4 Pro. She doesn't like the DualSense controllers because they're way too big for her hands. The DualShock, she said, is more comfortable. Plus, I want her to have a second controller in case something happens to her DualShock. I've got a few that I use, but they're mine. Even though you're my daughter, no, you're not using them. So this is a good secondary controller, and because it's small and very responsive, I think she'll like it. I use it wireless and wirelessly. No problems, no issues either way. Connects up very easy. All I did was just plug it in, wired, and when I unconnected, is that even a word? Disconnected. Yeah, it was paired to the PlayStation 5. I don't know if it can turn on the PlayStation. You know what? Let's check. I don't know if you heard the beep, but my PlayStation 5, my PS5 Pro just turned on. So yes, it can turn off and on the PlayStation. Hold on. So yeah, it's doing it now. All right, let me put it back in sleep mode. Into rest mode. There we go. So yeah, that works. So obviously I can't show you my TV being on because that's just long. Yeah, but yeah, so basically I don't know how long the battery lasts, but I'm assuming this should be a nice little what do you reckon, about 9 hours or so. Didn't take long to charge because it had some charge in there before. LEDs are perfectly fine. The speaker's nice. In fact, the LEDs, I would say, are actually better on this than an actual DualShock 4. Yeah, you go all around and you can see what color you need to be. So basically, as a secondary controller for 36, well, basically between 35 and sorry, excuse me, £40, depending how or where you buy it. It's a great controller. So yeah, that's me done. I should see you in the next video. Hope you're well and have a good one. Peace.